Okay, so yesterday we have studied about addition and subtraction in errors. Okay, in addition and subtraction, we see that the maximum error, the maximum absolute error in the sum or in the difference. In both the cases, the maximum absolute error is calculated, and this maximum absolute error is the sum of the absolute errors in individual measurements. Okay, so in both the cases, in subtraction and in addition, we have seen that the maximum absolute error delta z, which sign do we consider? Positive sign. So plus delta z is equal to plus delta a plus delta b. So it is the sum of the absolute errors in individual measurement. Okay, now today we'll discuss the multiplication. Okay, let the true values of a and b, when multiplied, let the product is z. So z is equal to a into b. Okay, the true values are a and b, and when multiplied, let their product is z. Okay, now when the measured values are multiplied, measured value of a and b are multiplied, then the product will have some absolute error. Let it is plus minus delta z. Okay, so now the measured values, measured value of a is a plus minus delta a multiplied with the measured value of b, b plus minus delta b. Then the product will also have some error, absolute error. Let the absolute error in the product is plus minus delta z. So the product can be written as z plus minus delta z. Okay. True values multiplied, let the product is z. But when the measured values are multiplied, measured values are a plus minus delta a and b plus minus delta b. When they are multiplied, the product will have some absolute error, but let it is plus minus delta z. Okay, now let's simplify it. Right hand side we multiply a into b, first term. The second term a into delta b plus minus delta b. So this will be plus minus a into delta b. The next term b into plus minus delta a. So plus minus b into delta a. The last term plus minus delta a into delta b. Okay, whereas on the left hand side it is z plus minus delta z. Okay, now as we know that z is equal to a into b. So we can divide the left hand side by z and the right hand side by a into b. One and the same thing. Why? Because z is equal to a into b. So we can here. So let us divide the left hand side by z and the right hand side by ab. Why? Because z is equal to ab. That is, you are either dividing both sides by z or both sides by ab. Okay, so what do you get? 1 plus minus delta z upon z. Here the first term ab upon ab, 1 plus minus a into delta b upon ab. A and a cancels out. What remains? Plus minus delta b upon b. The next term plus minus b into delta a upon ab. B and b cancels out, and what remains? Plus minus delta a upon a. Then the last term plus minus delta a into delta b upon ab. Okay, 1 and 1 you can cancel out from both the sides. Okay, now here the last term plus minus delta a into delta b upon ab. It is the product of the absolute errors divided by ab. Okay, error is a very, very small quantity. That is, the error cannot be 100%. The error will be 1%, 2%, 5%, this much only. Okay, so this delta A is very small. Delta B is also very small. Product of it will be a very, very small quantity. And the product of these small quantities divided by A into B, which is quite a finite quantity. So very small divided by AB. So this term becomes very, very small. and it, as it is very small, we can neglect it as compared to the other terms. So this term can be neglected as compared to the other terms. Why? Because it is a very small quantity. So this term is neglected as compared to the other terms. Okay, now what remains? Plus minus delta z upon z, plus minus delta b upon b, plus minus delta a upon a. Okay, now what is this term? Delta z upon z. Absolute error in the product divided by the mean value, you can say, or divided by the true value of the product. We know that such an error, we call it as the relative error. Yesterday we have studied that absolute error to the mean value, we call it as the relative error. So what is this? This is the relative error in the product. Similarly, delta b upon b, it is the relative error in b. Delta a upon a, it is the relative error in a. Last term we have neglected. Why? Because it's a very small. Okay, so this is the relative error in the product. Now, what we'll find out? Maximum relative error. What maximum possible error could be done? So, when we find out the maximum error, we'll consider the positive sign. So, here, maximum relative error in the product. Maximum possible relative error in product is equal to which sign, as we are considering maximum? So, plus delta z upon z will be equal to, here also you will consider the plus sign, plus delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. So what do you get? The relative error in the product is equal to sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. So the relative error in the product is the sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. So in multiplication, we'll find out the maximum relative error, and the maximum relative error is the sum of the absolute errors in individual measurements. Okay, whereas in addition and subtraction, we find out maximum absolute error. Here we'll find out maximum relative error. Okay, and what will be the maximum relative error in the product? It will be the sum of the absolute errors in individual measurements. Okay, the same way for the division also. Let's find out for the division in errors. Okay, let the true values are divided and the quotient is z. So z is equal to a upon b. Okay, now when the measured values are divided, again the quotient will have some absolute error. Let it is equal to plus minus delta z. So the quotient can be written as z plus minus delta z. Okay, so here when the measured values are added, then we get some error, some absolute error in the quotient. Let it is plus minus delta z. Now the quotient can be written as z plus minus delta z when the measured values are added, a plus minus delta a divided by b plus minus delta b. Okay, now in order to simplify it, let us take a common from the numerator. When we take a common, what do we get? 1 plus minus delta a upon a. Similarly, from the denominator, take b common. So what do you get? b 1 plus minus delta b upon b. So what we have done? We have taken a common from the numerator and b from the denominator. So z plus minus delta z is equal to here a upon b 1 plus minus delta a upon a into 1 plus minus delta b upon b raised to the power minus 1. A upon b multiplied by 1 plus minus delta a upon a multiplied by 1 plus minus delta b upon b raised to the power minus 1. Can we write like this? Okay. So we can write it like this. Okay. Now here z is equal to a upon b. Okay. So here z is equal to a upon b. Either you can divide, or first let's multiply the bracket term a upon b. Multiply these two bracket. Okay, here one more thing, 1 plus minus delta b upon b. Those who have bio, they can directly write it as this minus 1 will be multiplied with this sign, that is minus 1 into plus minus. This will be the answer. And those who have maths, they will study the binomial expansion in maths. Okay, so this is done by binomial expansion. Okay, so here directly what you can do, minus 1 is multiplied here. So minus 1 into plus minus can be written as 1 minus plus delta b, which is again equal to 1 plus minus delta b upon b. Okay, so no need to worry, these bio students. You will directly multiply this minus 1 here. Those who have maths, they will study in maths binomial expansion. Okay, so here what we will do, this minus 1 is multiplied with this plus minus. And what do we get? 1 plus minus delta a upon a. 1 plus minus delta b upon b. Okay, this is using binomial expansion. Okay, just we have multiplied minus 1 with plus minus. So we get minus plus or plus minus 1 and the same thing. Okay, nothing to worry about it. A upon b. Now multiply the bracket terms. 1 into 1, we get 1. The next term, plus minus delta a upon a. The next term, plus minus delta b upon b. Plus minus delta a into delta b upon a into b. Okay, whereas here it is z plus minus delta z. Okay, let us divide it. The left hand side by z and the right hand side by AB. Why? Because z is equal to a upon b. So let us divide the left hand side by z, whereas the right hand side of by a upon b. So this a upon b cancels out. What do we get? 1 plus minus delta z upon z. 1. Okay, writing it here. So what do we get? 1 plus minus delta z upon z is equal to this whole term. Again the last term, delta a into delta b, very small quantity, divided by ab, a large quantity. So this term becomes very, very small and it can be neglected as compared to the other terms. So this term we have neglected as compared to the rest of the terms. So what remains? 1 plus minus delta a upon a plus minus delta b upon b. Now you can cancel out 1 from both the sides. And again the maximum possible error, maximum possible relative error in the quotient, that is in division. So the maximum relative error in quotient, or you can write down in division, is, which sign will we consider? Plus delta z upon z is equal to plus delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. So we get the same result for the multiplication and division. So in multiplication and division, we find out the maximum relative error in the product or in the quotient, and which is equal to sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. Okay, very simple. How did we simplify? Measured values divided. So there will be some absolute error in the quotient. These are the measured values. Take a common from the numerator, b common from the denominator. Okay, and how can it be written? A upon b, 1 plus minus delta a upon a multiplied by 1 plus minus delta b upon b raised to the power minus 1. Okay, now how we solve this? The second term, this is by binomial expansion. Just what you have to do, you have to multiply -1 by plus minus. So what do you get? Minus plus, which can again be written as plus minus. Okay, this is binomial expansion. No need to study about it. Just multiply the power. Okay. This is in a particular case, this term should be very small as compared to this. And it's a very long series. Okay, don't go into it. Just multiply the power over here. We'll retain only these two terms. Okay. Now multiply it. Left hand side divided by Z, right hand side divided by AB. So you get this, and the maximum error in the quotient will be, consider the positive sign. Plus delta Z upon Z is equal to plus delta A upon A plus delta B upon B. So the maximum relative error in quotient, okay, is equal to sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. Okay, one more thing here we'll discuss in powers. Okay, if it is given as A square, A cube, so let us consider in power also. So the errors in power. Okay, let Z is equal to A square. A square can be written as A into A. So it is the product of two quantities, and whenever it is the product, which error do we find out? Maximum relative error in the product, which is plus delta Z upon Z, which will be equal to the sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. What are the two measurements? A and A only. So it will be equal to delta A upon A plus delta A upon A. So what do you get? Twice delta A upon A. Okay, so here we see that the power will be multiplied to the relative error. One more case, let us consider if Z is equal to A cube. A cube can be written as A into A into A. Again, the relative error in the product will be equal to sum of the relative errors in individual measurements. First is delta A upon A, the added to the relative error of the second one, that is also delta A upon A. Third one, delta A upon A. So it is 3 times delta A upon A. So again we see that power is multiplied to the relative error. Now let Z is equal to A raised to the power n. So here we are getting a pattern. Then the relative error in Z, delta Z upon Z will be n times the relative error in A. So n delta A upon A. So when it is in the power will be multiplied over here. N times delta A upon A. Is that clear? Okay, so this chapter we have completed. Now we'll do few questions based on it. Okay, first question. Based on the errors, let's do few questions. Question number 1. Let a physical quantity is given as A square B cube under root C upon D. Find the relative error in P. Find the relative error in P. We have to find out the relative error in P. Okay, I'm writing the answer. You can unmute and say whether what you have written is correct or not. The relative error in P is delta P upon P. A square is multiplied to B cube. We know that power is multiplied to the relative error, 2 delta A upon A. Now this is the product of A cube, A square into B cube. And we know that the relative errors are added. So it would be 3 delta B upon B multiplied by under root C. That is C raised to the power half plus half delta C upon C. And in the division also, the relative errors are added. So plus the relative error in D. Relative error in D is plus delta D upon D. Okay, everyone got this answer? Anyone who hasn't got this answer or did not understand can unmute and let me know.
Ma'am, why we did not took d power -1?
Okay, that binomial expansion, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, leave it. That you will not understand. Whether you are a math student or a bio student, you will not understand right now. If you are a math student, you will study it later on. Bio students, no need to worry. Okay, just multiply that -1 by plus into minus. Okay, so this is binomial expansion because few maths topics here are related to physics. We have to study. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, is this clear? Everyone got this answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, now the same question. Question number 2 is, if the percentage error in A is 2%, in B is 1%, in C is 4%, and in D, let it is 3%. Find the percentage error in P. Find percentage error in P. Try to do it. I give you 30 seconds. Percentage error in P you have to determine. Find the percentage error in P. If the percentage error in, okay, this is find percentage error in P. If percentage error in A is 2%, in B is 1%, in C is 4%, and in D is 3%. You have to find out the percentage error in P. Okay, from the relative error, how do you get the percentage error? Multiplying it by 100. So delta P upon P into 100, that is the percentage error in P. If you are multiplying the left hand side by 100, so the right hand side will also be multiplied by, each term on the right hand side will be multiplied by 100. Try to do it. We have to find out delta P upon P into 100. That is the percentage error in P. Delta P upon P into 100 will be equal to 2 delta A upon A into 100 plus 3 delta B upon B into 100 plus half delta C upon C into 100 plus delta D upon D into 100.
10%.
Okay, yes, good. Okay, now what is this delta A upon A into 100? Delta A upon A into 100, from here we know that it is 2%. The relative error multiplied by 100, this is the percentage error in A. So 2 delta A upon A into 100 can be written as okay, so this delta P upon P into 100, what is this? This is the percentage error in P which we have to determine, and this is equal to twice delta A upon A into 100. See from here, this is 2%. Delta A upon A into 100 is the percentage error in A, which is given as 2%, plus 3 times delta B upon B into 100 is 1%, plus half delta C upon C into 100 is 4%, plus delta D upon D into 100 is 3%. So you can simplify 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3%. That is how much? 12% it is. What
12.
are you getting? Yes, what are you?
12.
How much is it? Are all getting this?
12%.
12% are all getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
okay. Few more questions, we'll do it. Okay, we have got 4-5 minutes, 5 minutes more. Okay, next question. If the percentage error in mass is 3% and in measuring volume is 2%, find the percentage error in density. Find percentage error in density. I think everyone knows the formula. Density is equal to mass upon volume. Percentage error in density means delta D upon D into 100. Mass divided by volume. The relative errors will be added. So delta D upon D into 100 is the relative error. Let us multiply it by 100. We'll get the percentage error in the density, which will be equal to delta M upon M into 100 plus delta V upon V into 100. Okay, here the percentage error, this is the percentage error in mass, which is given as 3% and this is given as 2%. So the percentage error in density is 5%. Everyone getting this answer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. One last question before I leave the class. Write down. In measuring the density of a cube, in measuring the density of a cube, the percentage error in mass is 5%, and in measuring the side of a cube, is 2%. Find the percentage error in density. Find the percentage error in density. Find the percentage error in density. Hurry up, do it. By the time I'll take your attendance.